Let's go to Sarah in Louisville, Kentucky. What's up, Sarah?
Hey, how are you?
Good. One time I called it Louisville, and that did not end well for me. So
don't do that.
I'm out of the hospital now, and it's Louisville.
Louisville.
That's right. What's up?
So my question is, when do you push through hard conversations with a new friend, and when do you just let that friendship go?
Just let it go. Don't hold back anymore. As the great Elsa sang. Okay, give me more context.
So I have a neighbor who wants to be friends, and she said she doesn't have very many friends. So I recently started including her in my friend group, but that has caused some issues. For example, I invited her to girls' night, and she ended up talking so much that a couple of people suggested I either talk to her about making sure the conversation's more equitable or not inviting her anymore. I'm a little afraid of how that conversation would go if I did talk to her, especially because she does already seem to be aware that she dominates conversation. And as far as not inviting her goes, I've been that girl without friends before, and I really don't want to just abandon someone who's lonely.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh, man. Making friends as an adult is the worst. It's the worst.
I know. When you were a little kid, you just had to be the same age.
I know. It's like, hey, we're playing kickball. And there was either the nerds that loved kickball or the kids that were like, I hate kickball. And they had their Hello Kitty backpack and their little trapper keepers. And they would just be ironic. And like, but you just found your friends. And now there's neighbors. And it's like, oh, you're weird. You're weird. How do you know that she knows that she dominates conversation?
Because she'll say stuff like, sorry, I'm talking so much. Or she'll say, sorry, I talked so much tonight. I'm just really excited. Or things like that. So she's very aware that she's talking a lot. But,
but you so desperately want to be like, well, then how about you stop? How about you stop? Hey, listen, it is not your responsibility as just a human on planet Earth to take in all of the cases of loneliness in the world and make them yours to solve. Okay? So I want to relieve you of that. I also think there are some lo-fi ways to solve some of this, potentially. Okay? So I'm going to send you a whole bunch of questions for humans cards. And here's why my wife said she loves these things, and here's why. I talk too much, a lot. I talk way too much, and I got opinions on everything, especially when we're just hanging out, just with a couple friends and whatever. And she said, when you're going through these cards, everybody gets a turn, so somebody has to stop talking. And it lets other people tell their story. And a good friend thing is when somebody else is telling a story and the person who has to always be heard starts talking, someone can go, hey, hold on, let her finish. And there are little things like that aren't rude or not you being a jerk or anything like that, but they're just subtle, quiet, like, hold on, I want to hear this story. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be dramatic and big, but it's just a quick, like, oh, hold on, I want to hear what she has to say about this. I do that in administrative meetings. Sometimes in meetings, there's 2 or 3 people that talk all the time, and there's 3 or 4 people who are really quiet, who have lots of great ideas, but they don't say anything. I'll stop, be like, hold on, I've already heard from you. I want to hear from so-and-so. And I'm just pretty direct about it. And I don't think anybody thinks it's mean or ugly or rude. It's just, I want other voices to be heard. And sometimes just doing a little bit of quarterbacking someone can slowly get the message and learn. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be more for like if she was interrupting somebody though? It's not so much that she's interrupting people who are already talking. It's that, anything that comes up, she has a better story for it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like oh no, stop with that. Let's hear from, you know what I mean?
Yes. And better story people are really tough. They're really tough. Like, oh yeah, well one time you're like, all right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I don't know there's an easy way through it. I do think if I'm in your situation, I would probably attempt some modeling. And if, and it may be that there's certain friends, like I've got certain friend groups that I hang out with. I go watch the fights with a group of guys, and I play music with a different group of guys.
Yeah.
Just different. They're just different folks who do different things.
I thought about that too. Just she said that she enjoyed the girls' night so much. She was like, "This was amazing. It was awesome," and she knows I do it regularly. So if she doesn't get invited again,
Yeah.
Again, yeah, I haven't.
She's an
I
adult.
haven't invited her to other functions.
She's an adult, and she is in control of her feelings. You are allowed to have events at your house with the people that you choose to have events with.
Okay.
Choose guilt over resentment every time.
So you wouldn't even try to talk to her about it?
No, I would. I totally would.
Okay.
I would.
How would you approach that?
Like I said, I would do something like, "Hey, we're going to play a game, a directed game," or like, "I'm going to send you the girls' night cards and the questions for humans friends. I'm going to send those to you, and you can pass them out and be like, all right, everybody's going to answer one, and then we're going to go around the room, and we're going to answer another one. We're going to go around the room."
The hard part is we did something very similar to that. I had everybody write down 2 things about themselves, and then everyone had to guess who those things were.
Mm-hmm.
So we did kind of go around the room, and so some people got some time to talk. Just it still ended up like a 1-up and then a 1-up.
I think that's your job is to play quarterback and to model something new, which is after the first 1-up and the second 1-up, when she starts to 1-up somebody else, go, hold on, we're going to go to the next card.
Okay. All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would do if I have. I mean, yeah, it's just hard. I wish there's an easy way, man. There's just not an easy way. It's just tough. I can also see a scenario where this is very much like the "you got a booger in your nose" conversation, and like I can't think of a more graceful, honorable thing than when someone like pulls me aside, it's like, "Hey, dude, you got a booger in your nose." It's so kind and lovely, even though we're both going to be weird now. Like, because I want to be like, "Why are you looking up my nose, weirdo?" And B, thank God somebody told me, right? And so it may be like, "Hey, we're going to grab coffee," and like, "Hey, this is going to be weird and awkward and hard, and you're my friend now, and so I just want to tell you, like everybody who tells a story, you always have a 1-up story and a better story, and it's just make it hard."
Okay.
And that might be an awkward conversation, but it can't be any more awkward than what you're feeling right now. At least you'd have some resolution, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
At least, and she might tell you, "You know what? You go to hell. I hate you, and I'm going to burn your house down when you're on vacation." She might say that, and she might be like, "Okay, thank you so much. Finally, somebody told me," right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did wonder if just nobody had the courage to have that conversation and just kind of opted out instead, and that's why she doesn't have many friends.
And it becomes self-reinforcing, right? She feels people pulling away. And so then she tries to tell more stories to keep them engaged. And then they start to pull away more. And so she gets louder and faster and be like, "Oh, yeah, well, one time and it's just a symptom of wanting to be a part of what's going on. And somebody doesn't feel whole enough, doesn't feel worthy enough that their presence is enough. Like the fact that you showed up and brought dip or beers or whatever you brought, that's not enough. You're only loved because you've got another story to tell. And it's communicating, no, I'm really glad you're here. And you're making it hard for us to want you to stay here. This is tough."
Okay. Yeah.
And the people in my life who've had that conversation with me on a number of issues, I think so highly of them. So highly of them. My buddy Trevor, when I was in college, like when me and the person who's my wife now, when we broke up, I was like, "She said this and this." And he was like, "Dude, you're an idiot." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said it way more colorful than that, but he was right. He called me out. And it literally changed. I didn't see it from my perspective. When he saw it, like, "Dude, I'm your buddy. I'm your roommate. And I see how you treat people." Dude, it was eye-opening for me. I've had bosses. Dr. Thompson did this for me. Mike Gibson did this for me. I've had people all through my life pull me aside. Dave Ramsey's done that for me. Like, "Hey, here's a thing I see in you." And it can be really great, and it can also be really isolating. And so every time somebody's done that, it's hard to hear. It really is, but what a gift, man. It's such a blessing when somebody has the courage to do that. So, again, in a public forum, like with a bunch of people around, that's not the place, but a private, quiet conversation might be the place. I would do it after getting some cards and being real direct and having some time during this time, like during the event where you're like, hold on a second. I want to let so-and-so talk. I want to let Ben talk. I want to let Kelly talk. I want to let Christian talk. Like, I want to let them, I want to hear what they have to say and give somebody a picture of what it looks like to just sit through it and not have to comment on everything. And then after that, if it keeps up and keeps up and keeps up, maybe it's worth a conversation. Choose guilt over resentment. Choose guilt over resentment every single time. Every time. You're awesome, Sarah. Best of luck to you. Making adult friends is the worst.